Yo peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I just want to quickly talk about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's been some, interviews that have been popping up recently involving Eiji Aonuma. I think he's the producer of he's the series producer of Zelda, and he's just been saying very interesting things. There's a lot of things going on in Zelda with interviews and also some things that popped up on the side. In this video, I'm just going to very quickly talk about his interview regarding the presence of Epona, his interview regarding the ending of Breath of the Wild, and then a slightly different thing coming from a guide that was published on Amazon. Aonuma also recently talked about the Zelda timeline and Breath of the Wild's place in it, but I'm going to leave that for another video. Anyway, let's just get right into this little bit of news. So the first one that I really want to talk about, and it's super exciting, is the idea of an alternate ending. Aonuma has gone on record, and in an interview with IGN Portugal, he said, and man, this is not a joke, there is an alternate ending if you meet certain criteria. If you do a few things, you might see a different ending. The link will be down below. There will be a link to a GameSpot article. There will be a link to the IGN original article in Portuguese. I highly recommend you check it out. But let's just really quickly talk about this. Alternate endings are nothing new in video games. It's something that might be potentially new for Zelda. Now, the way he's phrasing this is that it seems like if you let's assume you do a side quest, you complete that side quest, maybe it means you're going to get a little bit more. Maybe in this game there's going to be a good ending, and then there's going to be what people usually call the true ending. The true ending is the one that I guess is the payoff after you really try your best and you really try to complete everything or complete a lot more of the game than the usual player would. That would be the criteria to get a true ending. And you know, that would be very interesting. That would be a very interesting way of doing Zelda. Now technically, ever since the Zelda timeline has become a thing, you could argue that the game over screen is an alternate ending, especially with the Ocarina of Time split having the game over screen effectively leading into the disaster zone that is the original Zelda game. But since here we're having an alternate ending that is confirmed by Aonuma, I do wonder, what does that mean in terms of the timeline? Will the regular ending and the alternate ending both branch off into two perfectly legitimate timelines? That would be a very interesting way of doing it, and that would probably be one of the more straightforward ways of setting up a timeline split yet again for The Legend of Zelda. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens in the future, and it's just exciting to know that there's an alternate ending that will reward players for doing extra things that aren't part of the main story. How could you not love that? Now, for things not a part of the main story, let's also talk about Epona. Good old Aonuma also came and gave us some information. He said, and I quote, "As for Epona, she is in Breath of the Wild, but I do not want to reveal details about how to find her or what that means." Now that is interesting. What does it mean to find Epona? What kind of significance does Epona carry? Well, within the Zelda games, Epona has the significance of Epona's song. It was present in Ocarina of Time, it was present in Majora's Mask, it was present in Twilight Princess through the whistling. Now, does this mean we're going to get a connection to Lon Lon Ranch? Does this mean we're going to get a connection to Malon? Because Breath of the Wild has been a lot about calling back to earlier elements of the Zelda series, and it would just be really cool if finding Epona means finding some variation of the Lon Lon Ranch. That would be epic excellent. Now, if we were to assume that the true ending is this alternate ending that Aonuma is talking about, I would assume that finding Epona is one of the keys to getting this alternate ending. I just feel like that would be good. Like, if there's an ending that you get for playing it the way that Link would play it, finding everything that belongs to him, and one of those things being Epona, it'd be a pretty cool little thing. Regardless, Aonuma is giving us a lot of information. I am very excited to talk about the next little bit of interview that he had, but I'll save that for another video. Let's put that down. It was pretty cool. We now know there's an alternate ending for Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we now know that Epona is there, but she has some significance in what it means to find her. It probably means you could go the whole game without actually finding Epona. That would be tragic. Anyway, moving on, there's actually a little thing that also popped up recently. So apparently in the last few days, or maybe yesterday, there was a guide that came up on Amazon. I will leave a link to one of the articles that has the incriminating, blurb on it. But this article, or sorry, this posting on Amazon had the summary, and the summary gives away some pretty big spoilers. It gives away the amount of shrines that are present in the game, or at least the minimum amount of shrines that are present in the game, and it gives away how many side quests are in the game. Now, I'm not going to spoil that for anyone, because that will probably tell you how long this game is going to be. It's in the article down below. I highly recommend you check it out. And also just be careful that now there is information on how many dungeons or how many shrine dungeons are in the game. And if you are kind of wanting to avoid that, you know, just be a bit more careful. And actually, speaking on spoilers, I hope being told that there's an alternate ending doesn't count as a spoiler for people. If it does, I am so sorry, but it's an interview. So that's kind of public domain. Anyway, let's leave it there. Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's coming in March. It's going to be epic. It's going to be great. And I'm going to be super excited to play it. But you guys, let me know what you think of this little bit of news. Let me know what you think of the idea of Epona. Let me know what you think of the idea of the alternate timeline, or the alternate ending that might verge into an alternate timeline. And let me know what you think of the spoilers. I will ask that you be kind of conscientious of other people in the comments. Anyway, let's end it there. Till next time, I hope you have a great day.